Does your inventory always look like this, and you don't know whether you should sell, salvage, or keep these items? Then this video is for you. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty of things, I want to quickly go over the benefits for each of these three things that you can do with your items. First up, selling. Very simple. You get gold. That's all the benefit you get from selling items. And it is something that you'll probably be doing with the majority of your inventories. The second up is salvaging items. Now, this gives you materials to further upgrade your current gear, which is something you want to do quite a lot in the early game, as well as when you kind of make it in the beginning of World Tier 4, just so you have enough to fully upgrade your current gear, as well as any possible future gear that you will get that's better than what you currently have. And last but not least, why would you ever store an item? Is usually a legendary item or something that you would use for a different build. Make sure you keep it in case you do get better pieces of gear and you want to imprint that legendary aspect onto your newly acquired item. So you finished up your dungeon or whatever else you were doing, and now you need to decide what to do with the loot you've picked up. If you're just starting out and constantly scouring your inventory for better gear, I recommend mostly salvaging the gear you get and only selling when you need money in order to get up those materials you need for upgrading your gear, as well as transmogs you might want to keep. And once you make it into World Tier 4, this is where decisions mainly happen. Now let's take my inventory for example. I have enough materials, as you can see here, to upgrade a few hundred things, and I don't really need any more transmogs as I've gotten all of them from salvaging while I was leveling up. So my decision's mainly between selling items and keeping items. Now, since most of my gear is pretty high up in like item level, as well as mostly the correct stats that I need, it's very rare that I'll actually find an item that's better. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to keep certain things. So for example, the first thing I'm going to do is sort my inventory, which does sort by the highest item level. That's not to say you should only look at that, as an item that's lower item level can have more ideal stats than something you already have and will be more beneficial to you in the long run. Now, looking through my gear here, I mainly want to keep stuff in my stash based on the legendary aspect. If it's something that I use in my build, let's see, for example, this is something I would use in my build. I use it now, but it's rolled lower. It's a tongue twister, and I don't need it. So it would still be marked as junk, and stuff that I just don't use altogether, I would be marking as junk either way, just so I can sell it in one fell swoop. So let's see here. This is not good for me. This has nothing for me. Nothing. Bows are just something I strictly don't use, but they could have a better legendary aspect. Not that this was the case. Now let's see here. This is again something that I use, but it's rolled very low, so I don't want it. And then I keep going, keep going. There we go. This is something that's the exact same as my current chest piece. Now let's say I get a better chest piece and I want to put this same aspect on it. I want to have this for later on, so I'm not going to mark that as junk. It's that one. Same there, bad, 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 and bad. Now that I've gone through my whole inventory, I've decided this is the only thing I want to keep. Now, the other reason you may want to keep stuff is if you have another build that you like or you want to try, then by all means keep that item for later in case you want to switch. Once you get the NPC, I just sell everything I need to sell, and then I'm done. I just go put this in my stash. The one side note I do want to make, and this is something that you guys can always do when you go to like the shops, is take a look at what the NPC is selling. In this case, there's nothing ancestral. There's no way it'll ever be better than anything I'm wearing because all my stuff's ancestral. However, you can get very good items in these shops. For example, this ring is something I bought at a vendor and has 3 perfect critical strike modifiers. Something that I will never get a better ring than this. That's just the way it is. But yeah, that's pretty much how you decide what you want to do, whether you want to sell, salvage, or store any items that you may get. That's going to be it for this video, guys. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, my social media information is in the video description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.